Let's talk crochet. Hey folks, it's Mary, aka MercyTriumphs, and this is Slow Crochet. This is episode 062. It is my weekly kind of podcasty check-in, just showing you what I'm working on, asking for your advice and opinions on things that I have in progress, and just generally talking about what is in my world of crochet this week. It is kind of funny because it will be very similar to last week. I only started one new project, and let me just go ahead and get that one out of the way. As soon as Lisa over at Happy Duck Creations put up her tutorial for her headband, I had to make one. And here it is. I made this out of Big Twist Value in the color Rainbow Bright, and I love using this yarn. It is so cheerful. It's so fun. I've used it in several projects already, and I thought this would be the perfect thing to do my inaugural run of Lisa's tutorial. This is Lisa's first tutorial, and I think it is adorable. I love how the headband turned out. It is really straightforward. She's wonderful at showing you how to do it, and she's got this wonderful, joyful demeanor that is just very infectious and such a delight to be around. So thank you, Lisa, for putting out that tutorial. I did a slightly smaller one than she did just because we're different sized people, but I do love how it turned out, and I think I'll just keep it on for the remainder of the video. So that is the only thing that is kind of unique this week. The other projects are things that I'm going to show you that I already had working on last week. While I'm on the subject of this yarn, let me show you something else that I made with it. Last week I made a frog using Red Heart Retro Stripe, and it was Complicated Knots frog pattern. So first of all, one of my children said, "Mommy, can I have that frog?" So of course I gave it to him. The frog is now missing here, so I had to make another to replace it. And I thought, what better yarn to use than the very same? So here is that frog, and it's quite a bit smaller than the one that I gave to my child, but look at how that worked up. I did put a jump ring and a keychain on this because this is going to be a gift. And instead of using safety eyes, I used some buttons. But oh my goodness, how fun is that little guy? I just love him. But I wasn't satisfied just with the one. I had to make another. So here is another entry, kind of by accident, into that leapfrog crochet along, make along in 2024 hashtag is in the video description there. This one I did use the regular safety eyes, but I didn't do any whites in it. I think they're both super cute, and it's just so fun to see how those colors play out differently. In doing such a small project, you really get to see the differences in that variegation. I think these are just joyful, and actually, come to think of it, I think both of these are going to have to get themselves in the mail and go to some special places. So I will have to maybe even make another one, because right now, if these go off to new homes, then I am frogless, and I still have more of this. So maybe a third frog will be in the works. Speaking of frogging, is it frogging if it's weaving in the ends? This is my question, because I have been working on this sweater and it's nearly done. This is the fall to winter sweater by Kiks and Jack. I have the sleeves done, they're seamed up. I have the sides seamed up. Let's see, I have ribbing on one of these sleeves. This is my problem though. I have ends to weave in. I have ends. And my plan had been to do this new idea of kind of French braiding the ends together. And so I did that, but then I had this quandary of what do you do with the knot at the end? Do I really want a knot of yarn kind of stuck in the middle on the side? That's going to be really uncomfortable. Is it worth unpicking this and just weaving it in properly? The other thing that I've noticed is as I've done that French braid, I guess I was going kind of tight, because look at how it affects the stretch. On this end, on this other side of the sweater, it has quite a bit of stretch, but by French braiding it, it's kind of locked it in. It's not going to stretch out very well. It's not going to be maybe as nice of a fit. So here's my conundrum. Should I try to figure out a way to just go with the French braid technique? Should I maybe pull out a needle and thread and just stitch this over? I don't have a sewing machine set up right now, so it's not going to be easy to just like run that under the machine. But is it worth doing that? because I still have this problem of stretch? Or should I just bite the bullet and sit down and take the couple of hours? If I imagine it's gonna take me a couple hours, then I'll be excited when I do it in less time than that, you know, like set the bar way high, and then if I don't meet it, you know, I'll come in under budget, so to speak. Or should I try again in this kind of French braid technique? Let me know if you have any other ideas on weaving in a bazillion ends, because that's the only thing that's keeping me from finishing this sweater. Here's the ends on this side, it's already stitched together. And then here's the ends on the other sleeve. So with the sleeve, on this one I only had a few ends to weave in, which I did, and then I single crocheted around it, and then I just crocheted the ribbing right onto it in a similar pattern that I used at the waistband. So this one is nearly done. I just need to make that decision and pull the trigger on how I'm going to deal with all those ends. Again, let me know in the comments. Y'all are super helpful, and I really do appreciate all of your wisdom and all of your expertise. And speaking of wisdom and expertise, y'all recommended going up a hook size, or several hook sizes. I ended up going to a 6.0 millimeter hook on that Lanthier shawl, and it has made such a difference. This shawl is really an easy one to memorize, but it's already so effective, and I can tell just from the stretch here, it's gonna block out so beautifully. This has become my almost mindless project right now, and this is one of the things I love about shawls is once you get into a rhythm of it, you really can just go and go and go and create these beautiful pieces. So again, this is the Queensland Rainbow Beach, and it is the colorway Whit Sundays number 135 in this kind of indigo, kind of grayish denim blue. Very beautiful, and you can see that kind of marled effect and kind of that gradient effect there. I'm loving how this is coming out, and so I want to say thank you to everyone who helped encourage me. Not only that my eyes did not deceive me in the weight of this yarn, that it actually is more of a 3 weight even though it's labeled as a 2 weight, but thank you to everyone who really did encourage me to kind of frog back and restart with the larger hook. That has made the biggest difference. So that is all I've been really crocheting this week. Mostly it's been trying to get this sweater finished and now figuring out what to do with those ends and then restarting this shawl. That is one sweater down out of like the 5 that I want to make this year, and I'm really excited that that's so close to completion. I'm already thinking of what's my next one I'm going to start on. Also, I'm loving doing these tiny little frogs. I have some more projects coming down the pipe and some projects that were requested, some collaborations, things like that. So I am excited about what I get to work with. And I'm really thankful that you are here with me on this little adventure, talking yarn with me, because I don't really get to wax poetic that much with my family or with the friends that I get to see most often. There are some yarny people. Side note, the little sweater that I made for a baby shower, I had an extra ball of that yarn, and I gave it along with the sweater because the mom does crochet a little bit, but she loved the sweater. It turned out so beautifully, and it was just a really sweet time. So one of those things, you know, reminds us why we do what we do, seeing how our handwork can be a blessing to others and really create some beautiful memories for people. So thank you for being part of my little crochet world, and it is such an honor and a joy to be part of yours. Thank you to all my subscribers. I know there's some new ones there. It feels like people just kind of bit by bit are trickling in here, and I really do appreciate y'all. I'm really thankful that you're here because I just love being able to put this out there, knowing that's something that you enjoy. I'm glad to provide something of meaning and benefit to you. So glad that you're around. Thank you to everyone who comments and likes and shares, all that kind of stuff. Again, y'all are so wise and consistent and so trustworthy in your advice. I really do appreciate it. If I'm not your cup of tea, thank you so much for listening this long. I really do appreciate you, and I do hope I'll see you again soon. Bye.